if I gave an example prior to that, but that's an example of a public trust, right? So everything that to deal with the New Deal and the security net that was created under Franklin Delano Roosevelt, all that is dealing with trust. Okay, so we the people are not only the beneficiaries, but the citizens are beneficiaries. We the people are both beneficiaries and the trustor as a body, not as because see again, there's only one trustor, but again, that one is the collective body of people. Okay, so an individual, just like a corporation, could be one, even though it's comprised of many people working under that corporation. It's still one. The Moorish Science of America is just one. So all of us Moors under one body, we're one. Okay, in terms of legally, and that's through. Well, we're gonna break that down. We got time, so we're not even gonna rush to that. But that's through what the Prophet established. Okay, so there's a reason why he incorporated. You know, you have a lot of Moors who are very radical when it comes to the government. So they are anything dealing with incorporate, but the Prophet did. So we could look at divine warning by the Prophet to the nations, where he said, there's but one issue, and he said that there's one issue for them to be recognized by this government and nations of the earth, and it comes only through the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated. Okay, so I'm just going off of memory, but I'm pretty sure that was verbatim. We Moors, we have to study our lessons, so that way, even if we don't got it in front of us, we could, convey that information. So he says that we incorporated in that document, and then you also hear him reference us. Well, not hear him, but read a reference of him speaking of us incorporating in chapter 47. Can somebody give me that? I think it's verse 4, but I just want to be anybody that got their Moorish Quran handy, that'll be perfect.
Islam.
Islam, Mo.
More praises to Allah, honest to all true and divine prophets. This is chapter 47, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies, instruction number 4. The Moorish Science of America is a lawfully chartered incorporated organization. Any subordinate
Slow it down. The Moorish Science of America is what?
Is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization.
Incorporated organization. We don't even need to go no further than that. That's enough right there. So chapter 48, verse 4 of the Moorish Quran. So that's two references of the Prophet saying that we're incorporated. Right? And there's a third reference. When you look on the back of the 101s, there's a document entitled Our Authority. That document is the actual incorporation document. So part of our Moorish literature, part of our lessons that we are told to study, one of the essential documents, that's reviewed every Sunday school, the Prophet wanted us to know so well, getting back to that three times, to make sure that we Moors know that this movement was incorporated. Okay? And that was in order to make us a body and a government. And we're going to establish how we're a government in this demonstration as well. You see, Moors, I want to stress something to you Moors as well. Y'all Moors are very blessed, because any Moorish Science of America I've sat in, any meetings that I've seen online, any conversation that I've had with Moors, within the temple, this topic of trust laws is often taboo. It's often something that Moors don't even speak of. So you're very blessed to actually get, this information that you could look up, that you could verify. You can ask your questions right now, Moors. Like, the floor is always open. I get right to you as long as I'm, complete my thought, or, another Moor has something that they were saying before you, and allow them to finish their thought. Other than that, any questions, are not only open, but welcome. All right, so Islam, Brother Jeff.
Mute your mic.
You gotta unmute your mic, Mo.
Oh, my fault. Sorry. I just want to ask this question, right? So, the Prophet incorporated and put it on record in two places, right? In the movement. So, when you incorporate, as far as my understanding is, basically our rights are protected by the government through these documents, which is in the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is in the back of the 101s and also in our Circle 7. Is I basically asking that's basically what it's doing. Is recorded. You record it in the government, and when you incorporate, is basically you're protected from any ill harms. Us, and anybody within the Moorish Science Temple of America is basically protected and backed by the government when you incorporate. That's what I'm asking.
So, yeah. So to address your question, when we're talking about incorporation, particularly with the Moorish Science Temple of America, but just in general on this subject matter, how are they incorporated? That's the $1 million question, or to rephrase it, under what laws are they incorporated under? Okay, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali incorporated the Moorish Science Temple of America under specific laws. Okay, so I've done a lot of research. I looked up Moorish Science Temples of America, replete throughout, the United States. You could, from the comfort of your own home, from your cell phone, tablet, PC, Apple, it don't matter. Whatever device you have that can connect to the internet, you can look up any incorporated entity. And not only look up any incorporated entity, you can determine whether they are for-profit or not non-for-profit. Okay, so many Moorish Science Temple of Americas are incorporated under as non-for-profits, which is not the law that the Prophet incorporated under. Anybody want to take a quick stab at how do I know for a fact? Very simple answer. That the Moorish Science Temple of America was not originally incorporated as a non-for-profit. It's like a one-sentence answer.
Islam.
Come on, Mo.
Because all governments make money.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's not the one I was looking for, but that's a good one. But I'm just in the interest of time. What I was specifically looking for is the Prophet transcended before he was no longer in a physical form during the time period that the United States codes, which where non-for-profits originate from, came into existence. They didn't exist during the time of the Prophet. So how could he utilize a law that was not even passed, that was not a law, that didn't exist? So the law that the Prophet incorporated the Moorish Science Temple of America under, and this is why he chose the state of Illinois. Okay, it wasn't a randomly selected state that he picked. It wasn't a mystical reason about that particular land. At least, if it is, I'm unaware of it. But a very simple reason why he would have done it is because the laws within that state permitted him to accomplish what he wasn't able to accomplish, for the 15 years prior to him incorporating the movement there. And that law was known as the Religious Corporation Act. And this is the law. This is the law that makes the Moorish Science Temple of America a government. And this is something that you could follow along right now, because we're gonna actually read this law. If you type in Religious Corporation Act, the very first link will be ilga.gov. That stands for the Illinois General Assembly. And .govs are government websites. Okay. So what I want Brother Jeff to do, because I believe he did this last week, and Brother Jeff, if you could you get the back of the 101s for us?
Islam.
So we're gonna be going back and forth. I'm gonna be reading a document. He's gonna be reading. All right.
Islam, Sheik. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just for those who may not know what the 101s is, let me be clear. That's the Quran questions for Moorish children, also known as the Moorish questionnaire, also known as colloquially known as the 101 to us. There's 101 questions.